Hey, welcome to Footy Fin. And yeah, before you ask, little head clash at scrum training. That's what I'm going to, that's my story anyway. Now, look, I want to preview the Wallaby squad and the game against Italy this weekend. First of all, as to last weekend, a new policy here on Footy Fin is not to review test matches, even Wallabies matches and others, that do not take place in World Rugby's specified international window. So there will be no discussion of last weekend, looking ahead to this fixture against Italy. Now, of course, 3 years ago, the Wallabies lost in dramatic fashion. Ben Donaldson came off the bench, I think, in his test debut, had a penalty kick on or near the siren that would have won the match. He missed it. Australia lost by a point, I think it was 28-27 or so. And ultimately, Wallabies coach Dave Rennie lost his job as a result of that. And what followed was about 10 or 11 disastrous months under Eddie Jones. So yeah, interesting here, and I guess a bit of a case for an opportunity for a bit of revenge, if you will, for the Wallabies. I believe that was the first time Italy had ever beaten the Wallabies, and fair play to them for that. So yeah, and speaking of milestones, well, I'll come to Carter Gordon later, but it's basically been 2 years since he's played. And he will be putting on the gold 10 jersey again this weekend. Anyway, I'll come to that. So let me run over the Wallabies squad briefly with a few comments. Here we go. So the Wallabies to take on Italy this weekend. From 15 through to 1, we've got Andrew Kellaway at fullback. Corey Toole comes in on one wing. Max Jorgensen, I assume this is just a bit of a rotation policy. It's been a long and tiring year for the Wallabies, so he has a rest. Corey Toole comes in. Paisami and Suaalii are at 12 and 13 respectively. That's the same centre pairing as last weekend. Evidently, Len Ikitau's getting, although available now, is getting a bit more of a rest. He'll probably be used against Ireland and France, I imagine. On the other wing is Harry Potter, who played last weekend. Coming in at 10, as I say, is Carter Gordon. Hasn't played a game of rugby for at least 1.5 years. Played one NRL game all year this year due to an unusual spinal injury. But look, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I think this is the right call. I'll probably come back to him. In the halves, incidentally, it's Gordon and Gordon. So at number 9 is Jake Gordon. He stays there. 8, Harry Wilson, captain, and Fraser McWright at 7. No changes there, but Tom Hooper, who wasn't available last weekend, comes in and pushes Rob Vellatini onto the bench. In the locks, or the second row, Frost and Williams, that remains unchanged. Up front, Teniela Tupou, Matt Fassler, and Angus Bell. Fassler comes in, the Queenslander, puts Pollard back onto the bench. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Fassler started the first test against the Lions. On the bench is Billy Pollard. Aidan Ross, so a man who played at least one test for the All Blacks. I think he's only the 5th ever player to play for both the All Blacks and the Wallabies, assuming he gets on the field this weekend. Great to have him in a gold jersey. Let's hope all the best for his test debut. Zane Nongor is the other reserve prop. Rob Vellatini, as I said, is on the bench, and Pete Samu returns to the gold jersey. Pete was another one of those who was controversially overlooked by Eddie Jones for the 2023 Rugby World Cup. He's been playing in France. He's won a title or two there. It's great to have him back in the gold jersey, and he'll do well off the bench, as will Vellatini. That's a nice second row, loose forward bench cover there. Ryan Lonergan, reserve scrum half. Tane Edmed, reserve fly half. And Filippo Daungunu. So I think it makes perfect sense to not start Edmed at 10. He just hasn't quite cut it at test level. But they haven't called in James O'Connor. Incidentally, they also haven't called in Will Skelton at this stage. But I dare say they'll call in Skelton for Ireland and or France. Just a quick word about Carter Gordon. So he made his test debut In 2023, in against the Box and or the All Blacks, I think he played against both. He was taken to as the first choice fly half to the 2023 Rugby World Cup. That campaign was a disaster, thanks to Eddie Jones and Hamish McLennan. Nothing against Gordon. He did okay at times. Ben Donaldson was the other fly half cover. Again, I don't know why he's not even on this tour, but he's not. So Gordon played for the Melbourne Rebels in the 2024 Super Rugby season, in their final season. He is a Queenslander from the Sunshine Coast. He signed with NRL, and late in 2024, he played a few games in the Queensland Cup, which is the next level down from the NRL for the Tweedhead Seagulls. But basically, for the entirety of 2025, due to a weird and unusual spinal injury, he was bedridden essentially, and just got to play one game in the final NRL match of the regular season, and I think that was at centre. So he's no doubt going to be a bit rusty, but it makes sense in the circumstances, given Donaldson's not on tour, to start him at 10. I hope he does well. The Wallabies clearly need a good, strong fly half to prove himself at this level to take into the 2027 Rugby World Cup. So all the best to Gordon and Gordon, the scrum combo. Look, I want to quickly run over Italy, even if just to get an opportunity to say their names. Here we go. Ange Capuzzo at fullback. He's a flyer, lightning quick, a great, exciting player. Lewis Liner, son of World Cup winning Wallaby player Michael Liner. He has an Italian mother. He's in the Italian team. Brex and Menoncello in the centres. Ioannis on the other wing. Garbisi at fly half, and Varney, who I think might have a New Zealand connection, at scrum half. Canone, Zuliani, Vincent, I prefer Vincento. Zambonin, another Canone, Ferrari, Nicotera and Fischetti make up the front row. On the bench, Di Bartolomeo, Spagnolo, Riccione, Ruzza, Itzeka, Pagerieo, Allen and Malm. Anyway, all due respect, sorry if I mispronounced some of those names. As I say, Capuzzo and Garbisi are two that I particularly like. Amongst those, I must admit I don't have a deep familiarity with the entirety of the Italian squad. Here's hoping for a good match, a fair contest, not ruined by referees and officiating. We are now in the international test window, thanks World Rugby, and obviously hoping for an Australian win here. This probably, it's fair to say, may be the easiest of the four games on this England and Europe tour, but let's wait and see. Anyway, that's it from me for now. Going to go stick my head in a rolling maul. Enjoy this weekend of Test Rugby. We've got some other great contests. The All Blacks up against Scotland. Who are the Box taking on? England, I think, play Japan. Anyway, enjoy it. Till next time, thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I always forget to say this till the end. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, see ya.